coming to the last topic of diversity of life, we have taxonomic aids. What are these taxonomic aids? You know, something as an aid which helps in some or other work. So those things which help in our taxonomic studies would be termed as taxonomic aids. Now, what are the various taxonomic aids? First one is herbarium, second is botanical garden, third one is a museum, fourth one is zoological park, and the last one is a taxonomic key, as we have it, various keys indented and bracketed. We are going to come to that, but before that you need to understand about herbarium. What is herbarium? We need to get a brief idea about herbarium. I am pretty sure you might have heard about these terms once or twice, many times, and one which is this, that is zoological park. Most of you must have visited that. Some museum must also be visited. There are botanical gardens which people go and visit. So these are the various taxonomic aids which helps you in identifying an organism. Now how do they help in identifying an organism? Supposedly you go to a zoo. We are considering the example of zoological park over here. You go to a zoo, you would find an animal, like you go and see a tiger in a zoo. That tiger is given in the best possible way. It is given a habitat which resembles the real habitat of a tiger. It is artificial, though artificially created, and it is maintained in such a way so that the organism which is staying over there, the animal which is otherwise in risk of extinction or not able to breed properly in its habitat, or its habitat is getting deteriorated or is being destroyed, those organisms, those animals or organisms are taken from their habitat. They are well bred and fed in the zoological parks, and those who go to these zoos and zoological parks, they go and see what a tiger looks like, what is the habitat. So you are put in a condition where you are trying to analyze the external characteristics which distinguish a tiger from a leopard. So in a way, that is also a taxonomic aid which is helping you in identification of an organism in a proper way, where you see the organism, where you see its behavior, where you see its morphological characters, the habitat, the affinities, the various affinities and various factors which were important for their classification criteria. So that is why the zoos are also a taxonomic aid. Coming to the museums. Now we will come to museums, but before that we are going to see the botanical gardens. Now what are botanical gardens? Botanical gardens are the type of zoo, but over there you won't find animals. You are going to find the maximum variety of plants that could be supported in that particular habitat. That is known as a botanical garden. There are many famous botanical gardens in the world. There is Royal Botanical Garden of Kew in UK. There is a botanical garden, Indian Botanical Garden, quite famous one, that is Howrah's Botanical Garden. There is Botanical Research Center in Lucknow. So we have many botanical gardens which are present, where you are going to find the plant species, be it herbs, be it shrubs, be it large trees, whatever plant life could be supported in a given habitat, that would be present in the botanical garden. Then coming to the herbarium. Now this herbarium thing is the preservation. It is the plant parts are taken, they are dried and they are preserved on sheets. That is herbarium. The arrangement of sheets is made such so that it is easy for somebody to read about whatever the characteristics of the plant are. So for herbarium we have standard size of sheets, that is 29 into 41 centimeter. That is the standard size of the sheet on which is known as herbarium sheet. You go to the garden, you go to the park, you go to the field, you take a digger, you cut the plant, you try to take out the plant at a stage where maximum of its characteristics could be shown on the paper. Then it is brought in a box known as vasculum. In case you ever encounter this term, you have to remember vasculum is the box in which the plant which has been picked for making herbarium sheet does not get dried. It is kept in vasculum. Then it is if not vasculum, it is stored in polythene sheet. Then it is attached to the sheet with the help of a glue. Then in order to avoid any sort of infection, there is a DDT spray or pesticides, in order to avoid pesticides, or 0.1% mercuric chloride is used for avoiding any sort of pest infestation of the herbarium sheet. And then though for those organisms which cannot be taken out, a part of their morphological character like leaf, or you can say little part of branch or flower is plucked, it is cut, and if the size is larger than the herbarium sheet, then the shape is changed, W, or you can say B shaped plant is being made. The parts are folded, and in a way you get many sheets piled together, then they are kept and dried. There are many sheets which are piled together, on which you can see that the characteristic of a particular plant are quite clear next to the eyes. You see the characteristics of the plant. Detailed study, whosoever is making the herbarium has made sure that whatever identifying features are visible, according to that the plant is put according to the classification criteria and taxons. So it is easier for the onlooker to get an idea that what this plant looks like. If ever you don't get to see what raw wolffia, you know, raw wolffia is having the largest size of flowers it is having. Most of you might not have seen, but you can go to a herbarium, you can see the parts of raw wolffia easily, or those which cannot be represented in herbarium, they would be shown in the museum. So we are clear with 4 different taxonomic aids over here, that herbarium is nothing but the sheets. It is arrangement of sheets where we have parts of the plant represented in their dried and preserved state, and a few facts that we learned about it. Then those which cannot be concluded in herbarium sheets, like supposedly I am talking about a gymnosperm. So we cannot have a gymnosperm stuck to a herbarium sheet. For that we will have a museum where the parts of it would be stored, they would be preserved. Like we have many museums, I need not to tell you in detail about what museums have. They have preserved animals, they are not in their living condition, unlike in the case of botanical gardens and in zoological parks. Last one is taxonomic key, which is an analytical taxonomic device. Now, when I say that analytical taxonomic device, it means that supposedly I have an organism and I have listed its characteristic features. I would have 2 opposite statements, and one by one I will arrive to whatever genus or species it belongs by using the null method. Supposedly one statement is correct and other is not correct. We use 2 opposite statement, antagonistic statements, for the analytical treatment of the given particular organism, for arriving to the conclusion of what taxonomic group it belongs to. So these are the 5 taxonomic aids that you need to be aware of. I hope this particular entire topic, not just this one, the entire topic of diversity of life might have baffled you, might have been little bit boring, but yes, it is interesting in a way that you see lot of study has been done, lot of people have invested their time in this and studied all the organisms, and all thanks to them it is very easy for us to just hold in hand the name of particular thing and Google that what it means, and then we arrive to the solution that what this organism, what is the evolutionary relationship of this organism, how it has evolved, what is the geographical classification, because all the information, the taxonomic information that is achieved or that the particular reader arrives to, he or she mentions in different types of books which are known as floras, monographs and manuals, which give a particular zone species composition, and it is easier for everybody of us to read and analyze whatever we want to study, and it is easier for people of your age to simply Google and understand what, supposedly you are being asked that you have to see some parasitic plants, you would Google parasitic plants and a list of parasitic plants would come in front of you. That is all thanks to systematics and the study of diversity of life. I hope you enjoyed it.